with our college football pick show here for Thursday. We're going to get you games here for you today. I believe we got 8 of them, if I'm not mistaken. So 8 games for you here. In part number 4, we'll get the remainder games for you here on Thursday and Friday shows here. So before we get started, just a couple things. Be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Free college football picks are updated all season long. Free picks every day from all the major sports. We also have NFL. We also have Major League Baseball and more. It's a good time to subscribe. And also, if you would support our channel, like the video, the thumbs up, we greatly appreciate it. Then visit Tony'sPicks.com, our multi-capper site, showcasing top cappers in our industry. Click the links to the hot cappers and get signed up. Guys like Hollywood Sam, who's been on fire. Nick's been on fire. The Morning Steam crew as well. Good performances by Ramon. And let's just take a look at how our college football crew is doing. We got really good performances in college football this year here from Collins, from Hollywood Sam, Ramon is doing great work up there. So click, and Morning Steam as well. So click the links and get signed up to a long-term pass. You'll find our premium picks at the top. Drop-down menu shows off our free picks. As you scroll down the site, which you will see here, our featured picks as well as our best bet. Each capper can designate one of their premium picks per day, per sport, as a best bet. So you'll see multiple best bets up there. So you guys had asked for that in our live chat and the calls coming in, so you can see the performance there. Each capper can designate one of their premium picks as a $15 pick, showcase their service to you, and many of them do, and they do that with their best. You'll see the best bets up there on many of them as well. And of course, so we've just launched our 3-pack tab. None right at the moment, but light schedule card here for Thursday. But if you're looking for good value, take a look at those 3 packs. Very good value there. Make note of our promo code. You can save 20% off all premium pick packages when you use the promo code TonyT at checkout. You can access our page by clicking the link in the description, then click the All Cappers tab, and then get signed up. Also love to hear from you guys, so post your picks in the comments below. All right, let's go ahead. Let's get this one started. Liberty versus UMass college football pick Saturday. Liberty improved to 4-1 after their 38-24 road win at Old Dominion. Flames put up 478 yards in the win with 210 rushing on 39 carries. They did surrender 297 passing yards on 46 attempts. Quarterback Caden Salter struggled in the game, just 52% completion rate, 2 touchdowns, 2 picks. Did get the ball downfield with 8.9 yards per pass attempt on the season, a 55% completion rate passer, 8.5 yards per attempt. Now UMass 1-4 with their 20-13 road defeat at Eastern Michigan. Another poor offensive showing. Minutemen gained just 255 yards, 168 on the ground, though on 48 carries. A positive, UMass limited EMU to just 339 yards and only 122 passing on 24 attempts, just over 5 yards per attempt there. Correct, Gino Campiotti completed only 44% of his passes, 4.8 yards per pass attempt. The Northern Arizona transfer is completing 48% of his passes, a touchdown, 5 picks, but only 3.8 yards per attempt. The Flames should exploit the UMass run defense in this one. Liberty is a high-volume running team, averaging 41 rushes per game, 4.8 yards per attempt. Minutemen will struggle to score here. The play here will be Liberty and UMass under 49. Kent versus Miami, Ohio college football pick for Saturday. Kent improved to 2-3 after their 31-24 home overtime win to Ohio. Golden Flashes rolled up 736 yards in the victory, 338 rushing on 59 carries. They did allow 450 yards to the Bobcats with 322 passing on 39 attempts. Kent quarterback Colin Schley completed 65% of his throws, averaging 11 yards per attempt. It was season-wide numbers, 63% completion rate, 9.6 per attempt. Schley is a run threat with 47 rushes, 5.4 yards a carry. Miami O fell to 2-3 with their 24-20 road loss at Buffalo. They lose on a 15-yard touchdown pass allowed with 31 seconds remaining. The Redhawks held the Bulls to only 278 yards and 90 rushing on 34 carries. Miami, Ohio did run the football for 240 yards on 38 carries. Quarterback Avian Smith, just 54% completions, a pick, 4.6 per attempt. Now on the season, the sophomore is completing only 50% of his passes, just 5.1 yards per attempt. Now the Redhawks are running well and defending the run this season, but Miami O has struggled on third down. Offense and quarterback much better on the Golden Flashes side. They also have been battle tested with non-conference games on the road here to Georgia, Oklahoma, and Washington, covering 2 of those 3. The player will be Kent at -5.5. Texas Tech versus Oklahoma State college football pick. This is here one on Saturday. Texas Tech fell to 3-2 with their 37-28 road defeat at Kansas State. You know, the Red Raiders were hammered on the ground as the Wildcats ran for 343 yards on 39 carries. Texas Tech run game generated only over 3 yards a carry. Red Raiders were marred by 4 turnovers. Quarterback Donovan Smith did complete 71% of his passes, 7.5 yards per rush, with 2 interceptions and 2 picks. On the season, Smith completing 67% of his passes, 11 touchdowns, 7 picks, 6.9 yards per attempt. Oklahoma State 4-0 after their 36-25 road win at Baylor. Cowboys balanced offensive attack and held the Bears' run game to 112 yards on 30 carries, plus picking off 2 passes. Quarterback Spencer Sanders completed 69% in the win, 6.2 yards per attempt. On the season, Sanders' 66% completion rate, 11 touchdowns, 2 picks, 8.8 yards per attempt. Now, the Cowboys, the more balanced on offense, and the Red Raiders quarterback Smith is mistake-prone. Back-to-back road games for the Red Raiders with road losses at 13 at NC State and last week by 9 at Kansas State. The play here will be on Oklahoma State at -9. Toledo versus Northern Illinois college football pick. This one is on Saturday. Toledo improved to 3-2 after their 38-17 home win to Central Michigan. Rockets a strong run attack in the win with 261 yards on 50 carries. They stuffed, this Chippewa's run game to 33 yards on 26 carries. Correct, DeQuan Finn completed 56% of his passes in the win with 2 touchdowns and 8.1 yards per attempt. Finn a run threat, rushing for 84 yards on 12 carries. Now, Northern Illinois, they're 1-4, a 44-38 road overtime defeat at Ball State. Huskies piled up 526 yards in defeat, running for 332 yards on 57 carries. They did contain the Cardinals' ground attack, but gave up 403 passing yards on 58 attempts. Quarterback Ethan Hampton completed 58% of his passes, 6.7 yards per attempt. Now on the season, the sophomores completing 57%, 5 touchdowns, 2 picks, 7 yards per attempt. The Rockets have lost both road games, struggling offensively. NIU is defending the run, but Finn not accurate to trust as a sizable favorite on the road. The play here will be Northern Illinois here at +5.5. Virginia Tech and Pittsburgh college football pick Saturday. Virginia Tech fell to 2-3 with their 41-10 road defeat at North Carolina. Hokies, even against a bad defensive team, could not get on track offensively, finishing with 273 yards. The run game generated only 99 yards on 35 carries. Hokies did allow 527 yards to the Tar Heels with 367 yards passing on 41 attempts. Marshall transfer Grant Wells was just 16-26 with an interception, but only 5.3 yards per attempt. On the season, he's averaged no greater than 5.6 per attempt in any 4 of his FBS games. Pittsburgh dropped to 3-2 after their 26-21 home defeat to a really down Georgia Tech team. Run game sputtered for the Panthers behind 106 yards on 31 carries. They committed 3 turnovers and surrendered 232 rushing yards on 44 carries. Quarterback Keaton Slovis completed a season-low 58% of his passes with 6.8 yards per attempt. Season numbers for Slovis here, 63%. Completions, 8.3 per attempt. Now, the Hokies held to 10 points in 2 straight games. Their run game has not shown enough quality here to back. The player will be Pittsburgh -14.5. Auburn versus Georgia college football pick Saturday. Georgia and Auburn here. Auburn now fell to 3-2 after a 21-17 home defeat to LSU. They blew an early 17-0 lead midway through the second quarter. A fumble recovery allowed for a touchdown, really swung the momentum. Tigers held scoreless in the final 39 minutes of the game. Run game generated only 101 yards on 31 carries. Defense held the Tigers to only 270 yards, though. Quarterback Robbie Ashford completed 50% of his passes with 8.9 yards per attempt. Now, Georgia, they're 5-0 with a 26-22 road win at Missouri. Held to 6 first-half points. The Bulldogs outscored the Tigers 20-6 in the second half. The team posted 481 yards, running for about 4 yards a carry. They did limit Missouri to 294 yards. Quarterback Stetson Bennett, a season-low 54% completion rate, 7.1 yards per attempt. The team relied really on 4 of 4 field goals on the season. Bennett, 69% completions, 9.1 per attempt. This will be the first road game for the Tigers, who have been held to 17 or fewer points the past 3 games, including a 29-point loss at Penn State. But the Bulldogs, they've given up 8 field goals the past 2 games, so they're giving up some yards. We'll take Auburn here at +30. Tulsa versus Navy college football pick Saturday. Tulsa fell to 2-3 with a 31-21 home defeat to Cincinnati. Offense generated only 285 yards in defeat. Golden Hurricane run game sputtered 36 yards on 45 carries. Defensively, they did allow 364 yards, 198 rushing on 32 carries. Quarterback Davis Brin, a season-low 50% completion rate, 6.6 yards per attempt, throwing 2 picks and 1 going for a Cincinnati touchdown early. Brin, though, is questionable with an ankle injury, and backup Braylon Braxton getting reps with the first team. Braxton just 48% completion rate in limited action this year with 4.2 per attempt. Navy fell to 1-3, a 13-10 road defeat at Air Force, but they've covered their past 2 coming off the bye week. A poor offensive performance as midshipmen held to only 243 yards, 114 rushing on 36 attempts. Defensively, they did allow 358 yards to Air Force, with nearly 5 yards a carry on the ground. Quarterback Ty Levitai completed 55% of his passes for 6.5 yards per attempt and averaged only 2.8 yards per carry on the ground. He's averaged only 2.2 yards per carry in his 2 seasons with the school. That's the issue here. They're just not getting enough production on the ground from the quarterback. The quarterback runs the ball a lot. Levitai completed 52% of his passes this season, 10.3 yards per attempt. Midshipman has covered 4 of 5 against Tulsa, including an outright win last year. Golden Hurricane lack of run game a major concern with Brin's injury. Also, Tulsa has given up 198 yards rushing per game, 4.8 yards per attempt. The play here will be Navy at +6. Utah versus UCLA college football pick Saturday. Utah moved to 4-1 after their 42-16 home win to Oregon State. Utes ran successfully on the Beavers, 162 yards on 31 carries for nearly 6 yards per attempt. Defensively, they did surrender 411 yards at home with 246 passing on 30 attempts. They did benefit from a +4 turnover margin, picking off 4 passes and took 1 in for a touchdown. Quarterback Cameron Reeson completing 76% of his passes, 8 yards per attempt on the season, a career-high 68% completion rate, 8.3 per attempt. Now, UCLA 5-0. They come off a 40-32 home win to Washington. Bruins produced 499 yards running for 184 on 39 carries in the win. They did do a good job of stopping the Huskies' ground attack, but allowed 345 yards passing on 49 attempts with 2 picks, though. Quarterback Dorian Thompson-Robinson completed 73% of his passes, 3 touchdowns, 9.5 yards per attempt. He is a threat to run. He gained 53 yards and had a rushing touchdown on his 10 attempts. Now, Utah, in their road loss at Florida, did give up 452 yards, 284 rushing on 38 carries. They did move the football on offense, but Thompson-Robinson running ability a key asset for the Bruins, along with his accuracy and downfield effectiveness. The play will be UCLA at +3.5. Duke versus Georgia Tech college football pick. This one on Saturday. Duke moved to 4-1 with their 38-17 home win to Virginia. Blue Devils had a strong game running the football for 248 yards, 48 carries for over 5 yards per attempt. They did defend the Cavaliers well, eliminated Virginia 295 yards. Quarterback Riley Leonard completed 75% of his throws with a season-low 5.4 yards per attempt. A threat to run the football, Leonard had 59 yards rushing and 2 touchdowns on the year. Leonard completing 72% of his passes with 9.4 yards per attempt, and a tremendous improvement over 2021. Now, Georgia Tech 2-3 after their 26-21 road win at Pittsburgh. Yellow Jackets win despite 334 yards. It was really a run-heavy approach. 232 yards rushing on 44 carries. They did limit the Panthers' ground attack, but surrendered 305 passing yards on 45 attempts. Quarterback Jeff Sims, a season-low 42% completions, 3.9 yards per attempt. On the season, Sims is completing 56% of his passes, 5.9 yards per attempt, and well below last year's performance. Duke is effectively defending the run this season, and that is key now that we saw the approach of Georgia Tech under an interim coach. The passing game took a huge step back. The play here will be Duke here at -3.5. That was our college football pick show here for a Thursday. We got through 4 parts of it. We still have 30 games for you. We'll get them here over the next couple of days, so make sure you like, subscribe, set notifications. We got through 27 of them for this week, about halfway through the card. So the next couple of days, we'll be heavy with college football coverage for you guys. We'll also have the Thursday night NFL game for you shortly on our live audience. Don't forget, at 9 a.m. Eastern Time, it is the Morning Sting with Ramon and Mindy with their live show, so be sure to tune into that. A lot of coverage there for you as well. Back a little bit later with more picks.